Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to reading for the week of, I guess this camera isn't on, so this is actually not even for the week. This is for November 2024, and that's what we're going to look at. You have this hummingbird card. It says, be here, be now. You have this porcupine spirit. It says, time for beginner mind. It's a great time to learn new things. So, anything new that you can learn or anything new that you can experience, of course, is going to be very good for you. I love this hummingbird card because, hummingbirds go on long journeys to get to their nectar. And so it kind of says that you've been on a long journey and now you are getting your reward, or you're stepping into a time where you could be getting rewards or finding success on things that you've been working on for a very long time. I do see like some relearning going on here. Like, I don't think this is a bad thing, Taurus, just in general, but it's like sometimes I think we set out with a plan, or we have a plan like based off of whatever we're working on in life, and then the plans have to change, and I kind of feel that energy coming off of this reading, that some sort of plan in your life is changing, but I do think that it is changing for the better. This kind of looks to me like something that you don't want to do. It's kind of funny. Let me just put it this way. It's like, the story that's popping into my head here is, it's like, I don't know, like I've worked places before where, the boss makes a change, you have to, do something new, or changes the way that you operate, right? And everybody complains about it, and then everybody falls in love with it after, like whatever the change is. And I'm not saying this is your boss making changes, because I think this is more about your life. Like, you can't do something that you used to be doing in the same way, or there is an upgrade, or there's a change. Same thing with YouTube. It's like, when shorts came out, right? All the creators were complaining about having to create shorts, and now a lot of people who are complaining are only creating shorts. So it's kind of like one of those things that's popping into my head. I hope that makes sense. You're gonna have to apply it to whatever area of your life this is in. But you start with the Three of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. Three of Pentacles is a card of teamwork. It's also a card of showing your work. He is showing the work that he has done on those Three Pentacles, and it's a card of quality work. He has done a good job. So the work that he is doing is leading to a better result. And we have the Ten of Pentacles right here, and so that Ten of Pentacles says that there is more wealth and abundance coming in for you. But you have this Five of Cups right here. Again, Five of Cups is like holding on to the way things used to be, and when there is a much better option behind you. So like I said, just don't get too stuck in things needing to work a certain way. That's really what popped into my head at the beginning of the reading, with those three cards right there, is that it's just saying be flexible, which is, probably going to come up for you for the next 20 years. You have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is like a round situation. A lot of this energy for a lot of people. I just think the universe, I always say that like efficiency is the key word of the universe right now. And so if we're doing things that aren't efficient or that are a waste of time, like the universe is going to show us that we are just going in a circle, and we have to, break out of the circles, right? And I feel like that's what the Nine of Swords is saying. You have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is a card of needing to not give up on something and needing to continue. We also, not only that, but we go up to the Ten of Pentacles to the Judgment card. So the Nine of Wands is the Wounded Warrior. He's tried to do something like 8 times behind him, and he's grabbing onto this one wand in front of him. And I kind of feel some of you could be in this direction, giving something one last shot, or, trying again on whatever you've been working towards. And this really says to me that it will be worth it. With the Three of Pentacles, yes, you have the Page of Pentacles. There is definitely a change to your work. I felt it right at the beginning. The Porcupine Spirit says time for a beginner mind. Page of Pentacles, if there was a card that said time for a beginner mind, it would definitely be the Page of Pentacles. So any new ways of doing things that you can discover could be very profitable for you, and that doesn't have to even be money. It could be like your health or whatever you're working on. If you're discovering new things, those new techniques or tactics or different directions could make you much more successful with the Ten of Pentacles. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Empress, which is your card. So whenever you show up as yourself, this puts you in a position of power and strength and really allows you to get what you want from the reading. But the Empress is a lot of abundance and creating more abundance. I think you're really going to enjoy these changes, like I said, that you're making with this reading, So like, again, don't fear the change. whatever change is happening for you, because I feel it's going to be something that you're going to be really happy about. And I think that a lot of you are really working on longevity as well, because we have the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles has a major focus on building, leaving a legacy, but it's a foundational. I look at it as a foundational card. It's like it says that we are at the foundation of building a legacy, or building something permanent in our life. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, work hard, play hard. So make sure you're balancing your energy, of course. Make sure you're doing things in the right direction. And, if you're working too hard, make sure you take breaks and you rest. If you're resting too hard, make sure you're working, and all that other good stuff with the Two of Pentacles. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Courage card. It says boost your courage so you can put yourself out there in a big way. You have this Toxic Triggers. It says find the strength to remove yourself from toxic influences in your life. Yes, again, it is a great time to remove toxic triggers. Funny enough, we have Mars going retrograde in Leo at the end of the year, and I do feel that Mars retrograde at the end of the year could be one of those things where we notice that certain things are toxic and we have to remove them. So I think that this fits in very well with the end of the year here. I also think that, again, anything you're working on, you should move forward with boldly. That is another thing that I think the universe is encouraging everyone to do right now. You have the Temperance card, and Temperance is good, but it can represent a transformation or a change, which we've been talking about. And the Temperance card, sometimes I feel like he's trying to perfect his situation when he could easily just step off on this path and get this crown. Like, there's nothing more for him to perfect, and I think that sometimes I feel the Temperance card is us saying, I'll do this when, like we put some sort of requirement on whatever we're trying to accomplish. And I feel like this card is saying that you can easily get started on whatever you're working on right now. You have the Ten of Pentacles, and this is a new deck, so of course I can't get it off the table, but the Ten of Pentacles, building, leaving a legacy, creating more wealth, so money looks good in this reading, or you could be improving your finances. I also feel that if you are revisiting anything in your finances, that this would also be very good, because we go up to the Judgment card here. And the Ten of Pentacles would kind of represent, revisiting your finances, or revisiting something in your finances with that Judgment card. And the Judgment card would represent a rebirth. So if you've been thinking about doing something to improve your finances, you could be like rebirthing an idea that you've had before. And you have the Six of Wands right below it. So, that would say it's going to be successful. Next, you have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is about enthusiasm. I think you need to be excited for new beginnings with the Page of Wands. This is saying, instead of looking at things like a change, look at them with excitement and say, this is something new that I get to learn. So whatever changes you're making, I would like change the energy to make it more exciting. We see the Page of Pentacles twice in the reading as well. It comes up at the end. So there's clearly this energy of like a new chapter. Maybe that's what this reading is getting at, is that you're entering into like a new chapter of your life. With the Temperance card, you have the High Priestess. High Priestess, of course, says trust your intuition. Your intuition is guiding you, and she also represents unlimited potential. I think that's something people forget about the High Priestess, is that she doesn't just represent intuition. She represents unlimited potential as well. So whatever you're, with that Temperance card, whatever you're thinking about doing, you can reach great heights with the High Priestess, and really all the cards here, but you have to make sure that you're not creating like blockages or putting blockages in your way, and also you need to not put any requirements on what you're doing. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It says when you know that something is going to be successful for you, then it will be successful for you with that Ten of Pentacles. So this is about having those deep beliefs. Again, it's another card that says maybe you feel like you're not ready for this next step in your journey. The Seven of Wands, he's normally wearing two different shoes, or he's wearing a shoe and a boot. And the story of the card is that he had to rush out of his house and he had to defend his position at the top of this hill, but he didn't feel ready to rush out of his house and defend his position. But really, the Seven of Wands says you are ready and you will be perfectly fine. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Emperor. So, there is a little bit of love here. So we have the Emperor and the Empress. If you are looking for love, we go up to Lovers. So there definitely could be like a divine counterpart coming in for you as well with this energy. So that's really good. I kind of feel like the better your life becomes, the more likely it is that you're going to attract a person, which, I think is always true. when we are kind of high on life, right? That's when we really start to attract good things, and that's what this looks like to me. Is that you are finding success? The Six of Wands can simply be success or victory, and because you're having these victories, you're like giving off radiating a better energy, and that's attracting new things. You have this North Node. It says step out of your comfort zone, and you have this card that says what do you need to release. I think that is the secret to success there for you, is the stepping out of a comfort zone. Like I said, it's funny that I use that as an example at the beginning, but it's like where a change is made and you don't like the change at first, but then you do like the change later. And so I feel the stepping out of your comfort zone is saying, just be open to different ways of doing things or new perspectives in life or, whatever, because I think that really there is a positive change coming, but you might be a little resistant to it at first. You have the Judgment card, the Six of Wands, and the Five of Cups. I really got the word revisiting on the Judgment card, so I feel a lot of you are like revisiting an idea that you've had, or you are rebirthing an idea that you had. This could be, and it will probably be changed. It's like if you thought you were gonna start a YouTube channel in the past and you want to start another one now, it's like what you do now is probably going to be different, but kind of the same. So I get that like reinvention type energy off of this card as well, where it's saying that you're pretty much going to do the same thing, but just maybe in a different way. So any of you who are working on anything, again, it could be changing, but for the better. And again, this could be an old idea, something that you have played around with in the past. I want to encourage you to, if you've been thinking about it, an old idea, I really feel the reading is encouraging you to do it or to try it again, especially with the Nine of Wands as well. You have the Six of Wands. So a lot of success and, kind of like being on your high horse. This guy here, he's being celebrated and he's having a victory. The story of this card is he's coming back from war and he's being celebrated. So he's been on a long journey and, he's been through horrible things, but now it's kind of like it's all worth it because of the position that he's in. And again, the hummingbird really kind of says that as well. It says that you've been through a lot or you've been on this long journey and now you're getting a reward or you're being celebrated for what you've been through. I also feel that it would be a really good time for you to stand out. Sometimes I feel the Six of Wands is encouraging people to, get attention, to, brag about your accomplishments. They say if you've got it, flaunt it, right? So I think it would be a good time to display your accomplishments or share the things that you've been working on, and that would be good. Next, you have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups, he is really, sorry, I don't have nails, right? I'm not like one of these tarot people that has nails, so I can never get the cards off. But what I would say is the Five of Cups is about letting go of the past. He is grieving his loss for the taste of wine, those 3 cups in front of him. But the trick with the Five of Cups, I always say fives have very easy solutions. And the solution of the Five of Cups is to see these 2 cups and then get this bridge and this castle over here. So he needs to see that, again, there is a solution to his problem. And also he's grieving the loss of something that he doesn't even enjoy or didn't enjoy anymore. So if you have lost something recently, I feel that this is you seeing that the loss really wasn't that big of a deal because you didn't really like it in the first place. With the Judgment card, you have the Judgment card. So basically the universe saying I meant what I said. Whenever a card repeats itself, it's just the universe saying I meant what I said. It's just the universe kind of being like, a confirmation for the message. With the Six of Wands, you have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, tons of adventure cards for pretty much everyone right now. The Knight of Wands is about going on an adventure, but being a builder. I always say the Knight of Wands is the true builder in the tarot. He goes on an adventure, and if he doesn't know, if he comes to a place where he needs to build a bridge, he builds a bridge. He figures it out. The Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands both kind of represent, to me, learning as you go. So a lot of you might be in a position where you have to learn as you go, or you have to figure things out on your journey as you go. But, again, this should give you confidence. Sometimes I think people are afraid to get started because they're like, well, what if this happens? I won't be able to figure it out, but really you will. So, I think that a lot of you need to know that. I also feel like you need to know that anyone who's ever done anything pretty much has no clue what they're doing. They just figure it out as they go. So, again, that should give you confidence. With the Five of Cups, you have the Strength card. I feel you've been very patient for something, And it's almost like you're scared of it. And not a criticism at all, Taurus, but it's like sometimes I think we know what to do to be successful in life, but we're also, maybe deep down inside, we have some fears about the success. Even with that Six of Wands, the guy on the Six of Wands, there's a person in the background who looks jealous. And so, it can represent jealousy, or, maybe you're afraid that if you become successful, you'll alienate the people in your life, or maybe you're afraid that they won't like it. And I feel like the Strength card is about having the strength to embrace success as it comes. And that's what I feel like this is talking about. I do also feel if you are looking for love, clearly it could be a fire sign that is coming in for you, which I'm pretty sure for like the past 2 years, you've had fire showing up. You cannot make this up. In the area of the good stuff, you have this revisit card. You also have this reflect card. So we have all these retrogrades, and retrogrades are great for RE words. And you have revisit and reflect. But also the judgment card twice. Again, I think that there is clearly something that you need to go back to, and it's not a person. I think that this is a project or an idea that you had in the past for your life, or a plan that you had in the past for your life. And, for some of you, this is clearly a project. For some of you, the other thing I like to remind people about this energy is, let's say you've always had a plan to go to Disney World, right? And that might sound small. That might not sound important. But if you have, like, in the past had that as a goal, and even if you're like 70 years old now, I don't care, maybe you still need to go. And maybe you need to make a plan to make that happen. When we do things like accomplish the things that we wanted, then we prove to ourselves that it's possible. So even if it's just something that you've always wanted to do, maybe you've always wanted to take a pottery class or something like that, I feel like this is saying, like, go do it, because then you're proving to yourself that you can do pretty much anything that you have said you could do. And, again, celebrate it, because then you immediately make anything that you're about to do in the future much more possible, because you just proved to yourself that you can do something that you wanted to do. And that's the energy I get off of this reading. You have the Lovers, the Seven of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. Lovers could obviously be love. I think you've been getting love with me for a couple weeks, and it seems to me like it's kind of a little bit surprise love. Not really a surprise. Like, I don't want to make this sound like super clickbaity or anything, but, I kind of feel like you're not expecting it, or you're not thinking about it, so I would be open to those situations. Again, if you meet a person, if you go to a party and you start talking to a person or something, I would just be open to the opportunity, especially if you want it. I would say this is a new person as well. Page of Pentacles twice, Page of Wands showing up here as well. So it definitely could be a new person. The Lovers also, I'm getting like something about like an upgraded path as well. So like I said, if you are making changes in work or business, this is definitely an upgrade. You have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords in the good stuff is good. It would represent tactics and doing things in a different way. Again, I think this is just furthering the message that there's a change in the way that you work coming in for you, and it will be a good thing. I think it will be much more efficient, much easier, and I also think like a bigger bang for your buck. Like, again, I said at the beginning that the keyword for the universe is efficiency. If we're being efficient, we're spending less time doing things, and I really feel that. Really, the reason I say this is because of the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords comes up for almost everyone in the readings for the past few months, and it's a card of tactics. It's just a card of doing things in a different way, and a more successful way, or more tactical way. And obviously, if you do that, you'll have more free time, more energy, more good stuff. You have the Page of Pentacles. Again, you start and end with the Page of Pentacles. So this is definitely a new path, new journey. And the Page of Pentacles would also represent like learning. With the Lovers, you have the Page of Cups, so definitely could be a admirer or a love offer that's coming in for you right here. With the Judgment card, you could also be becoming aware of a person. So sometimes I think the Judgment card can say that you have already met a person, but maybe it's just like a friend, or maybe it's a person you've only started talking to and it hasn't really gone anywhere yet. And sometimes I think we like fall in love with a person like over time. It's one of those things. We meet them, they're friends, maybe there's no intentions, right? But then it becomes that. So I would be open to that as well. With the Seven of Swords, funny, I said Queen of Wands. I literally said it on the Knight of Wands. So I felt that on that Knight of Wands. I felt more Queen of Wands type energy. Again, Queen of Wands, she is willing to learn as she goes. She doesn't need to know all the details up front, and that is going to be important for you. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Tower. Tower's obviously showing up in the good stuff. Everyone's had the Tower this month again. But what I would say is in the good stuff, the Tower is a positive, would be a new beginning. It would also be reality. The whole point of the Tower is that those people are coming down to earth and they're seeing reality for what it is. So, again, you could be gaining a new reality, but it's coming up in the good stuff. As always, to me, Tower and Judgment in a reading is the most powerful combination. And Tower and Judgment is like a major revelation. You have this key. It says successful outcome to your problems. Yeah, if you are dealing with any issues, I think that there are successful outcomes. You have this Wind Chimes card. It says peace and harmony on it. So a lot of you could be, with the hummingbird, it's like you're coming to a time of peace because you've been on a long journey. You have this Cane card. It says pay attention to your health. So it is a great time to pay attention to your health. I think this is, again, true for everyone. Mars in Leo, Mars retrograde in Leo. Leo is vitality. So we have to really make sure, I think, at the end of the year that we stay healthy, that we, if we need a break, we take a break. If we have energy, we can work. But, again, for the most part, I would watch your health. You have this pin card that says new job, new career. So, the whole entire reading, I don't really feel like you are getting a new job. I just think that there are, upgrades happening in the job that you have right now. And, that is not a bad thing. You have the Vulture. It says depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. I wouldn't listen to that little voice in the back of your head, if you're worried about things. Maybe that's why you're worried about work. It's maybe your boss is, hiring more people, and you're like, why is he hiring more people? Or, am I going to get fired or something? But I don't think that's true. And if anything, this is going to make your life easier. So, again, don't put those worries out there with this card. But overall, really good. Love it. So, thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.